We are recording. Everyone say hi to YouTube. Oh no, the music's playing. I keep forgetting. Okay. It was okay, Tara too. Not really my scene, but it was good. We took her to the trampoline park right after, so she burned that shit off. Okay, good. Period. Ugh, I used to love playing on the trampoline when I was a kid. When I was a wee child, a youngin'. Let's see what's going on for you guys. It's the solstice, so maybe that will play with this reading a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. Ooh. Are we moving? That's an interesting combo. Judgment. Cups. Okay. Four of Pentacles, Strength. Interesting. Interesting. Me looking at all of you like... All right, let's dive in. I was confused, Hodge. I was like, grilled what? You were just like, grilled? I was like, you know what? Period. Bottom of the deck is your challenge, guys. You've got the Seven of Pentacles, you've got the Knight of Cups, and you've got the Three of Swords. Oh, I just heard really loud playing pretend. It feels like some of you are pretending to like something that you've probably been doing for a while, or maybe a person. It doesn't have to be a thing, but there's like a little bit of you holding up some sort of facade here. Being like, no, I do enjoy this. No, I like this. Or, oh, I do like this person. And it feels like your challenge is acknowledging that, like, you don't actually like this person or like this thing. I'm rolling my sleeves up. It feels like with that Three of Swords, the Knight of Cups, for some reason here, you have the Ace of Wands back there too. Some of you, this may be like a romantic partner. But it feels like for some of you, there's like a heartbreak in admitting that like you don't like it anymore. Yeah, there's like this weird friction here of like in your gut, you know that you're not happy or like you don't like the thing anymore, but you don't want to confront it because if you do, that means you also have to confront the heartbreak of the fact that you don't like it anymore. So it's like you can't have one without the other sort of energy coming through, but let's dive in. Let's see what's going on. You start with the Six of Swords and the Ten of Swords. So for a lot of you right off the bat, it feels like you guys have been thinking about like literally what we were just talking about before we started the collective. Like, what if I left? You know, it almost feels like some of you, I just heard exit stage right. I feel like a lot of you guys are contemplating endings right now. It's been coming up really heavy in the collective. So it wouldn't really shock me if a lot of you guys were like, well, what if I do this? What if I do that? Obviously for everyone, it's going to be different, right? Like not everyone, it's going to be romantic. Not everyone, it's going to be a physical move. But it does feel like Six of Swords is about moving forward and Ten of Swords is the end of like a long, bitter cycle. So it does kind of feel like you're having this moment of, I almost want to call it clarity. Like it feels like a clarity moment. You know, and I feel like with the Judgment, because your next two cards are Judgment and the Four of Pentacles, I feel like a lot of the advice that's coming through right away, whenever you guys are making these decisions for yourself, making these choices, like Tara 2 just said, you need to pay people less mind, is how I'm hearing it. You know, it feels like some of you guys may think very... Or you may pay attention very heavily to like what people think of you or what people say of you. There's a lot of that kind of coming through, and it feels like you're being called to recognize that other people don't control you. Other people, unless you let them. My guy just added that really fast. Other people, I always tell my clients, like thoughts and people, the only thing that they have in common is that they only have power over you if you give it to them. Okay, so it feels like a lot of you need to remember that you have power over your own life here. I feel like some of you guys like to feign helplessness a little bit for some reason. I don't know why. That's how it's coming through, is like feigning helplessness. Yeah, you've got Death, the Empress, and the Five of Cups. Why are y'all so in your head about this? You know, like, no, yeah, Tara too. Hi, Mom. Literally, the fact that Hodge and Tara just put the same quote in, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent, is literally what this is. You know, I feel like with the Empress, the Death card here, and the Five of Cups, some of y'all need to stop, like, looking so heavily to the past as, like, guidance here. You know, I feel like, how do I say that? Some of you outsource your authenticity a lot. You know, and I feel like when we talk about outsourcing our authenticity, that's like us giving our power away, right? When we're saying other people determine my worth, they determine my authenticity, that in and of itself is like the act of giving your power away. And it feels like for a lot of you, obviously, yes, this is a mother wound. We all know that. But it feels like with the Death, the Empress, and the Five of Cups, a lot of you are still doing this by comparing yourself to the things of the past. You know, hold on, you're getting auto modded. Allow. Oh, there we go. Thank you. It feels like you're just kind of, again, looking at the past here and just comparing to it and letting that affect your next decision for your move forward. Because even in your clarifying row, you've got the Chariot and the Sign. I think this is a very simple thing that I'm going to tell you, but I think it's a very difficult thing for you guys to work on. You have to do what makes you happy. Okay? At the core, and it sounds so corny, but I have been navigating my life since I left Long Island for the past 4 years with, if it does not make me happy, if I am not excited by it, it is not included in my life. And a lot of you guys need to, the way I'm hearing this is pick up the pace. I'm going to tell you to get on that track. Okay. It really changes, like, it changes so much of your life if your only, like, modicum of, how do I even say that? Like, determination is, does it make me happy? Does it excite me? I've said this to you before, and I'm going to say this again. I had a reader say this to me one time, and now I'm going to say it to you probably for the millionth time. If it's not a hell yes, it's a fuck no. Okay? I'm looking at all of you. Because in your last two cards, you got the Five of Cups and Strength. Why are we torturing ourselves? Y'all do this cycle where you don't listen to yourself, you don't go out and follow the steps to make yourself happy, and then you get mad and you judge yourself and you degrade yourself for not listening to yourself prior. Babe, just listen to yourself. If your body tells you, hey, we're uncomfortable here, leave. If your intuition says, hey, you don't belong here, leave. If your mind tells you this isn't for you, stop doing it. These are like very simple in, what's the word I'm looking for? Like in theory, but a bit more difficult when it comes to practice. You guys have to start practicing. Start with small things. I hate asparagus. You will never fucking see asparagus in my household. That's a very small thing. But you have to start small so that you can get bigger. Okay? Breaking people pleasing is hard, but you have to, I think part of the, for some of you, it's like recognizing that other people are not the determining factors of your worth, is how I'm hearing it. You know, a lot of you guys, again, you're outsourcing your authenticity by being like, oh, well, you know, Gina down the street thinks my garden is ugly. Fuck Gina. Why do I give a fuck if Gina down the street doesn't like something about my house? Does Gina live here? No, she doesn't. So then why would I care? You know, you guys are taking, we're going to roll with our nasty neighbor Gina tonight. Okay. You are taking Gina's words and you are allowing them. And my guides want me to be mean here. I'm going to put an emphasis on it. You are allowing it to bring you down. Okay? because you're absorbing it and you're saying, you know what, Gina, you are right. I am ugly. My house is ugly. I'm not worth it. I'll never do, you're allowing it by taking that narrative and running with it, okay? You guys have the Six of Swords twice. You've got the King of Cups. And you've got the Five of Pentacles. For a lot of you, this has to do with like male and not male, but like masculine energies in your life. Some of you may have a big bad that's not just mom, it's a masculine. Okay, obviously, gender and energy, they are not like the same thing. Everyone has everything. But for some of you here with the Six of Swords, the King of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles, a lot of your emotional abandonment wounds comes from the masculine. It's a wound from the masculine. And a lot of you are still letting that sort of dictate your life. You're still letting it kind of control you here. What do you want to say about that? I'll take that one. That's fine. Page of Pentacles. This is probably connected to childhood for a lot of you. The Eight of Cups. Shocking. I'm going to take this one. And the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah. Oh, this is so mean. Oh, this is definitely Helen. For those of you that don't know, Helen is the great-grandmother of someone in the collective, and she absolutely is brutal, and that's when I hear really brutal things, I'm like, this has to come from Helen. A lot of you need to start asking yourself, if you're not willing to put the work in, do you actually want it? For those of you, the way that I'm hearing this is like, if you're looking at the childhood wounds, if you're looking at your issue with the masculine, and you are telling yourself, Eight of Cups, Eight of Pentacles, will that work? That's too difficult. Do you actually want it? Because in order to heal this, you have to actually want to change. And you have to want to feel better than how this makes you feel. Now, obviously, that's a very cut and dry way to say it. That's definitely courtesy of Helen. But that is honestly a good way to look at it. I do this for myself. Like I'll give you a real world example. So in Call of Duty, before I stopped playing, there are pink guns that you can get and like all these fancy camos on guns that you can get. But the process to get those things is so grueling and so miserable to me that I have worked out in my brain that it is not worth it. The end result of that one gun getting a pretty color is not worth the road for me. We do this all the time. You guys probably don't realize, but like, you may think, oh, it's raining. Is it worth it to go to the grocery store? No, it's not, because I don't want to endure the rain. This healing is the same thing. And I think that Helen is trying to get you guys to look at it plainly and to be realistic with yourselves here. Okay? Because that's what it's about. Like if I don't want to have issues with body dysmorphia and eating disorders my whole life, I have to look at the road and decide that that hard road is better than being in the grip of an eating disorder my whole life. Okay? That's where I feel like she's telling you guys to go. Okay? But sometimes it's a wake-up call. Do I not think that healing, do I not think it's worth it? Okay, if I don't think it's worth it, then I need to look at it. Why don't I think it's worth it? There are so many moving parts here and so many factors. You guys have to start holding yourselves accountable, not in a degradatory way, but in a realistic way. Oh, I don't want to heal my masculine wound. Maybe I'm not holding myself accountable enough. Okay? Hello! Puff is popping in. How are you? All right. Let's get you guys an oracle card. Gotta put my, and oftentimes that what it boils down to. You can't heal in the same place that hurt you. I would have never been able to heal in New York had I stayed. You just can't. I'm good, but I was immediately attacked. So funny, Puff. I was wondering where you were. This one's interesting. I feel like this is gonna... Seychelle, Angel of Coin. This is your advice tonight, guys. Seychelle, Angel of Coin. Let's see. Where he at? Oh, there he is. 59 for those of us that are into numerology. Okay. Now may be a time to be wary in your dealings. It's important to understand who has your interests at heart. It's worth asking yourself if someone in your life may stand to gain from your misfortune. Excuse me, your power to refuse is always your own. Accept that power with seriousness, and you can stand firm against those who wish to use you as leverage for their own ends. All right, guys. I think this reading was very straightforward, albeit a little bit brutal. I will leave it there for you. That is going to be your collective tonight, everyone. Like I said, this video will find its way onto YouTube. If you are watching on YouTube, hi, welcome. I hope to see you here on Twitch one day. Until then, YouTube, I will see you guys in the next video, all right? Bye.